Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. Let me get all situated here. That works. How are you guys doing today? Got Sunny back in my lap. Actually, went and got Happy as well. Maybe we'll show Happy later. But remember, these live sessions are for you. Hopefully, you have questions. I will give my best answers. I have some comments that I've saved that I will use to kind of get the party started. But at the end, this is for you. If you just want to say hi or good morning, you can go ahead and leave a comment. I will do my best to recognize each and every one of you. I appreciate you giving me some time. I appreciate you supporting the channel. We are doing this together. The experts, all of that. We just keep being real every day. We're not trying to be hype or anything of that nature. So good morning, John. Good morning, Tamika. And Nathan, good morning. Tamika, thank you for your service. As I remember, you are a veteran, I believe. I think so. So thank you for your service. If I didn't say that on Thursday. Yeah, Veterans Day on Thursday. And Nathan, good morning. How are you? So a couple of quick things as we get situated, as people join questions. I finally went back and ordered this book on Amazon. If you've heard me talk about my new book, 15 Conversations with Real Estate Millionaires, this is the book I keep giving credit. I read this book. It was pretty good. But what I sat up in bed reading, one sec. Happy or Sunny? There you go. Okay. Sorry about that. I didn't want Sunny to fall. So back of this book, let's see, starting at page, I guess I should have marked this. Here we go. Page 355, Profiles of Real Estate Millionaires and Real Estate Investors. This book is what these pages, these 20 pages, is what I read over and over again. They were only a page and a half, right? There's Joe, there's Dwayne? I don't know, whatever. Wow, some names. Deitches? Jerry. So again, this is the inspiration for my second book. It was only a page and a half each, but it was enough for me to hold on and believe that real estate investing would change our lives. Real estate investing is slow. It can take years to really make a meaningful stories. Were lifesavers. It would have been a lot harder to hold on and just have faith and belief that this thing would work out without these stories. Nobody in my family had any money. It's just, I don't know about you, but I needed something. So what I did was I took that idea and I blew on steroids. You now have 15 conversations with real estate millionaires, all different types, all different positions, all different stuff. So again, I feel really good about this book. I'm still waiting for some book reviews and selfies and all of that. I'm kind of like an anxious father waiting for feedback. But yeah, that's 20 pages in this book sparked 300 pages in this book. So there you go. And oh, by the way, since I was buying another book, I actually went back and bought Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I wore my first copy out. I don't know where it is, so I had to buy another one. There we go. All right. So what else we got going on? So we got Tamika. Yep, you're welcome. Yes, Air Force veteran. Good. Thank goodness I remember that. You're very, very welcome. And thank you for all the other veterans. I just don't know your story, but thank you for your service. Invest to wealth. Good morning, Michael and everyone. Yes, good morning. How are you? Helping hands. I like that. Thank you to all the veterans. Oh, spouses. Absolutely. Oh, my connection is unstable. What does that mean? Trying to reconnect. I think it's okay. We couldn't do it without strong support of loved ones. Absolutely. You're right. Eddie, thank you. You're welcome. Good morning, Mike. Awesome. Okay. Hopefully we're still doing good. Yep. Internet's good. Okay, good. So what other kind of questions do we have this morning? Looks like I will be speaking. Speaking of that, I should probably update my calendar. Where is my calendar? There it is. Tuesday noon. We're going to be talking with Ty about the year ahead. So that should be good. How would you lock in gains for property appreciation? Um, I've never. So the question is from Nathan. I know some of you are on watching this on or listening on my podcast. Real quick, Nathan, just because it popped in my head, the podcast One Rental at a Time could quite possibly have 100,000 listens this week. We had 96,000 last week. Thank you, everyone. But yes, we have this YouTube channel which is helping. I don't know, 60,000, and now the podcast. It feels pretty good to see that daily consistency and just being authentic is paying off. So thank you for everybody that listens on the podcast. I'll read the question because I realize if I just answer and you don't know the question, that's a problem. So Nathan asks questions. How would you lock in gains for property appreciation? So I've never thought about that. So I'm just totally off the top of my head. Uh, I don't. I don't care about property appreciation. I've never thought about locking it in. In fact, locking it in to me means you have to sell it. The thing that makes sense to me, if you were concerned about a crash, you could sell it on owner financing or seller financing, something like that. Something I have done in the past when properties appreciated. I talked about this time in the market. I've done cash finances. I don't really consider that appreciation. To me is the extra, right? It's extra stuff. And it comes only when I sell the property or I give it up. Recycling capital, that is something I could do as I continually own the asset. So I see those as very different. And again, time in the market, recycling capital, when those two meet, very, very powerful. Nathan, may have heard this story, but for others, I will share it here. I write about a property in this book that you can go look at called 1818 Norris Drive East 93703. Go look it up on Zillow. It's in this book. And I bought that property for round numbers 100 grand. I put 20K down. So my mortgage was off $80,000. It cash flowed fine. About 3 years later, maybe 2.5 years, whatever it was, I do a cash out refi. On one hand, I get a check for 50 grand. On the other hand, I now have an alligator. Don't do alligators. Don't buy them. Don't create them. Bad, 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 bad. However, I have $50,000, and that $50,000 allows me to buy 2 more houses. Those 2 houses eventually appreciate. I do it again and buy more stuff. Ultimately, I 1031 out of the first house, the next 2, and the next 2 that become 40 units and $500,000 in equity and thousands of dollars in cash flow. So I like to recycle capital and I like to stay in the market. This is something that the Lumberjack brought home months ago. Dion from Dion Talk, we've done the math. Anna Kelly and I have done the math. It's an amazing thing. So I don't know if that helped, Nathan, but yeah, cash out refinance is the only way to lock in. Again, it might be my financial brain confusing the situation. In order to lock in, you must sell. That's kind of like, I don't know, accounting 101, right? In order to recognize appreciation, you must sell. So otherwise, for me, I'm doing a cash out refi because I want to keep the asset. Let's make sure I say hi to everybody. Kitty Cat 3700, morning. How are you? Daniel Nolte, just bought your course. Welcome. If you have Facebook, Daniel, you can ask to join an amazing group called One Rental at a Time Works. I will do my best to approve folks before we start because we do a more intimate session at 9 a.m. or in about 48 minutes. Helping Hands. In your book, when you were buying all those foreclosures, how were you able to afford rehabbing them? Did you use financing or hard money? I continually recycled capital. I had, let's just use round numbers. I had about $40,000 and I just kept reusing it. So basically I was doing Burr before Burr was a thing. I would buy a junker, round numbers, 50 grand, fix it up. Then I would have private money cash me out for the whole thing. So I created, I had, I don't know, 3 million bucks, maybe a little bit more in private money that would take first position and I would get all my money back. Right. My mortgage payments, even at 10%, I was paying 10% in 2010. I was able to recycle that $40,000 20, 25, 30 times. So yeah, good teams, great network of private money, great escrow and title companies. We were flipping capital about every 6 weeks or so. Yeah. So it was the same pile of money over and over and over and over and over again. Kitty Cat. Should I just buy to get in real estate, single family to live, then rent out later? It's hard for me to say should I because I don't know your situation. I don't know where you are. I don't know your all of these things. I will say that buying an owner occupied home and using that as your path, but do the math. Ladder, lowest down payment, 30-year money, 30-year money, 30-year money. But price, if you buy a house and let's say your mortgage is 2,000, but all you can rent it for in 2 years is 2,000, that is an alligator because you'll have property management fees and taxes, insurance, all those things. You're going to lose money. So getting on the property ladder via home ownership, thumbs up. Getting on the property ladder, home ownership with a plan to move in a couple of years and keep it as a rental, awesome. But please do the math. I do not approve creating alligators. You buy a nice home, mortgage payments 3 grand, you can rent it for 2,500. Not good. So kitty cake with that one caveat. Again, I don't know your situation and all those details, but that's what I'm thinking. And I just realized I have Robert Kiyosaki and Gary Keller. I got to put my books in the shot. How about that? You can't really read mine, but anyways, I thought that was fun. Daniel Note, what do you think about investing in rural markets? Daniel, it's all about the math for me. You have to realize, again, do I have any in rural? No, I wouldn't call any of my properties in rural. You have to watch. You probably have a harder time getting tenants, just a longer duration. You probably won't just get as much rent increases. But I know in my network, there are plenty of people that do that on purpose, right? It's a plan. You just got to buy right, man. The whole thing is all about how you buy. So just make sure you're buying. Oh, Nathan, there you go. Yeah, without selling, the big thing is for me is you'd have to do a cash out refi. Paul V. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How are you? Tamika, question. Did you acquire any of your properties through tax sale or county auctions? I tried to buy plenty for tax sales. I think I've done that 3 or 4 times over the last 20 years. You know, you get a big list, you go look at them, you do this, you set your numbers. So I've done that a couple of times. Never worked. I bought a property on G Street at auction. It was actually an online auction. Pretty much like a lot of times, I was the second highest bidder and the first one backed out. But I did buy one property at auction officially, auction.com. God, 2010, 11, 12, somewhere in there. I had been to auctions dozens of times, but that's the only property we successfully bought. But we tried. I mean, I'll go anywhere to get a deal. Yeah. Janet, good morning. Thank you for your video. Oh, you're very welcome, Janet. We try to get better every day. Where'd we go? Pavi, is it mine or others having sound problem? Oh, I don't know. You guys got to tell me. I'm just talking. Let me move the mic. I got an internet warning earlier, but it seems to have gone away. Let's see. How about if I do this? I don't know. You guys have to tell me. John Doe, question. Having a difficult, frustrating time factoring appraisal gaps into spreadsheet. They vary greatly. Seems like a roll of the dice since appraisals haven't caught up to the market. Any advice? John, I can only guess that you are referring to a refinance appraisal. This is just a wild guess given your question. Most of the time, when you have a sale and a purchase, you actually have a contract because it's a commitment of a willing buyer and a willing seller. Usually you can make that work or at least get really close. However, if you are doing BRRRR strategies, too many people make the mistake. And that's why in this book, I actually included two different BRRRR people because I think too many people make BRRRR sound easy. I think too many people make infinite return sound sexy. And it's all about the refi. Too many new investors are um, not realizing that a refinance appraisal is vastly different than a purchase appraisal. You know, you have the same exact house, same exact house. You buy it for 100, you spend 50, you want to sell it for 200, right? 199, let's just call it 200. You're the willing seller at 200, you have a willing buyer at 200. Bingo bango. Probably appraises. You buy it for 100, you put 50, you want to go back and refi it 6 months later, 3 months later, hoping to get 200. Good luck. These people that are preaching BRRRR as this infinite return vehicle, like it's photocopying something, are doing people disservice. That house, same exact house, buy it for 100, fix it up for 50, want to refi it at 200. You want to refi it at 200 so you can get all your money back, right? That's what the book says. Dude, that thing's going to appraise at like 165, 170, maybe. There's very little chance you get a 200 appraisal back. It's a purchase money appraisal is different than a refi appraisal. And all these books, it drives me crazy, frankly. And that's why people get burned by BRRRR. That's why they keep money locked up. That's why their private money investors don't do it again. So it's hard, John. You got to be a lot more conservative and you got to buy cheaper. That's it. Holly's buddy Gail, hi, how are you? Hope Fresno's good. Howard, what do you think about tiny home parks or RV parks as alternative to single family homes? Um, I think they offer a lot of opportunity. I really, you ask me about the future, like 5, 10 years out, tiny homes are going to be a thing. They just have to be. My experience, my frustration trying to build affordable homes in California that I talked about today on the daily financial news and later with the Lumberjack, so frustrating. But yeah, tiny homes have to come around. Sonny, what are you doing? So yeah, I think they're good. I think you got to run the numbers. I compare all deals in my same spreadsheet. I compare apartments with houses and condos, same spreadsheet. I think investors do themselves a disservice when they say, "Hey, I'm going to run the numbers on apartments over here, and then houses over here, and then a mobile parks over there." It's all your money. It's all the same thing: yield, return on capital, the rock, cash on cash, whatever you want to call it. Just do it in the same place. But yeah, I think they're interesting. Kitty Cake Bay Area. Oh, so that was the buy a home. Yeah, the Bay Area Kitty Cake. Woo! I've lived here 50 years. It is nuts. The answer I would have for you there, knowing a little bit more, is how long do you want to live here? So for me, and I've shared this before, but now for others, we bought a home even though it was crazy because we wanted our daughter to go through school, one zip code, or one set of grade school, junior high, middle school, high school. So we bought. We were going to be here. We knew we'd be here for 15 years. 15 years? Yeah. Well, anyways. So we bought. If you're only going to be here, 2 years or 2 minutes, I don't know. But given that extra information, that would be interesting. Tim OX Super. How you doing? In a recent video, Robert K. Yep, and Ken McElroy. Yep, talked about shifting your income from taxable cash flow to non-taxable debt. What are your thoughts on it, and what are the safe margins? So I can only guess. I haven't seen Robert or Kevin. Yeah, I think it's Ken McElroy, not Kevin. I think it's Ken McElroy. Assuming it's a guy I'm thinking about. I can only assume, so I'll say what I assume, Tim. So I think what they're talking about is basically Elon Musk. So if you guys don't know, Elon Musk doesn't have a salary, doesn't have none of that stuff, but all his wealth is in equity, right? Ownership of Tesla. So what does he do? He goes and gets a loan against the asset, and he can spend the loan. Same thing with Zuckerberg, same with all these people, right? So the same thing with real estate, right? You own real estate, it goes up in value. You refi, take cash out. You can live on the cash out refi. Cash out refinances are non-taxable, right? The debt that you get a 100K check after closing, that's not taxed. So I'm assuming that's what they're talking about. I don't know that for sure because I haven't seen the video. As far as safe margins, I'm going to guess you're talking about LTV or loan to value. For me, it's all about cash flow. In the beginning, I think I'm very clear, right? I went as high as possible. I bought houses, I'm embarrassed to say, with 80-10-10s. 80% first, 10% second, 10% down. So I had 90% LTV. The property's still cash flow, not cash flow great, but they cash flow. But today I'm far more conservative. It's more like 60%. And the last deal I bought was at 50%. So I think that's what you mean by safe margins. And again, I haven't seen the video, so I could be totally in left field. Pam, how are you, Pam? Oh, where'd Pam go? I touched my screen and my screen goes crazy. Pam, here we go. Can you say some more about the affordability index? Sure. You say you sell when it gets too high. For me, yeah, too low actually, but yeah, I'll do that. Why not keep? Because if people can't afford to buy, wouldn't rentals be in higher demand? Pam, that is a wonderful question. That is a wonderful, deep question. So one thing that I have several beliefs. First, when I purchase one of my buy and hold rentals, which is one rental at a time, my intention, Pam, is to hold forever. However, I have this one little clause out there that says if somebody wants to offer stupid money, I am willing to sell. That does go against the grain. The reason I do that is because if somebody wants to give me stupid money, I believe I can take that extra and redeploy it elsewhere. So 1 second, everybody. My dogs are playing. Hey, get over here. Hey, folks. Happy wanted to say hi. She just went. She's like 5.5 pounds, I think, yesterday. So I'm going to hold her in my lap. So back to Pam's question. Let's go back to my story, Pam, and think about it. Norris Drive, 1818 Norris Drive, East, 93703. I buy it for 107 grand. Folks, you can look this up on Zillow. I've done videos on it where I take a screenshot. I sell it like 3 years later for 264, I think. Why? Because it was unaffordable. It's still rented for 1,100. I bought that thing at 107 grand, rented for 1,100. I sold it at 264, rented 1,100. It's not affordable. More importantly, I didn't sell. I did a 1031 exchange into an apartment building I still own today. So the short answer is I would still be working. If I had held on to Norris Drive, Pam, it would have gone from 264 to 300, still renting for 1,100, 300 to 250 to 200 to 150 to 100 to 75. It retrades at 75 grand, still rents at 1,100. It would not return until 10 years later. eight house. I don't know. Today I'd have more, but so when something gets unaffordable, be clear this affordability index in California Association of Realtors. And you can go back and look at it over decades. The affordability index is reported monthly. You can get quarterly data. It is a beautiful thing. If you're in another state, you have to look up your own because all of them are different. I know the Lumberjacks market, I think, is on a scale of 1 to 300. My market's 0 to 100. So you got to know your market. But you can plot it on a curve. California is great because it goes high and then low, high and then low. And yeah, if somebody wants to pay something stupid, I will sell. Right now, my market, I still think, is a 46, which is middle of the road, very safe. I will sell if it gets to 20 or 21. Why? Because that's what history says. If you want to go see what I mean, Pam, go to car.org, look at Fresno affordability over the last 30 years or 40 years, and you can see, the affordability goes low and prices are high. And then it comes down, and then this, and then that, and then it's almost magical how it happens. Hopefully that makes sense, Pam. If it doesn't, please ask a follow-up question. I will try again. Thank you for asking. Kitty Cake, I'm in the Bay Area. Down payment and closing costs, save credit, middle score. Ooh, you big time 804. My credit's not even that high. Yeah, really, it really boils down to how long you're going to stay. I mean, not everybody knows this, Kitty Cake, but Santa Clara County, where I'm where I'm talking to you from today, median home price, median $1.6 million. How stupid is that? Just dumb. Crazy. Crazy. Oh, sound is back. Thank you. Okay, cool. Awesome. Real career, young money. Oh, all right. Would you rather have a 2 to 4 unit multifamily at 15% cash on cash or single family 10% cash on cash return, but with greater chance of appreciation? I buy yield every time, every single time. I do not count on appreciation at all. I have seen it come and go. My job is to replace my income. My job is to pay my bills with cash flow every time. So the answer is 15% all day long and twice on Sunday. Hey, Alok, how are you? Oh, the Lumberjack's here. Lots of good questions, keeping him on toes. But as always, he's crushing it. Oh, I love that guy. He's so nice. Just so you know, folks, if you don't know, the Lumberjack goes live for 3 hours on Sundays at 8:30 Pacific. I don't know how he does it. I couldn't do it. I love my hour, but 3 hours, crazy. Hey, Mark, how are you? Good morning. Eddie, I am going to cash out refi my house, but I can only afford one single family home. Would it be good if I purchase two for condos? The condos cash flow for single family home. So Eddie, I kind of have two answers. My quick answer is do the math and let the numbers tell you what to do. That is really, you got to be careful with condos. You just got to. The association fee goes up. It's like a mortgage payment that's never paid off. There are investors who unfortunately buy condos and don't realize that in the CCRs, I think that's what they are. Basically, the rules of the road says you cannot rent. Or it says you can only rent for a year. Like where I'm calling you from, in the association rules, we can only rent this place for a maximum of 1 year. That's what the rules are. Now you could fight it and apply for it and all that nonsense. But condo associations are no fun to deal with. And not enough people do the real math. But yeah, I own a condo. I bought a condo in Fresno, California on purpose. I was lucky enough to be able to pay cash because the association fee is $300. My rent is $1,000. I didn't want to have a mortgage payment plus the association fee. And oh, by the way, the association fee went up this year to $315. It's like a mortgage that goes the other way. It always goes up. So just be careful. Do the math. And again, be careful. Condos can surprise new investors because often the numbers are not as good as you expected. Better Home Rental. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing? To your example about doing the cash out refinance and using the 50K to buy two properties, with the 50K for down payment or for two very cheap homes, the newbies. Oh, neat. So I use the 50K as down payments. I'm sorry if I thank you, Tamika. Yeah, I was building my base. I documented it pretty well in this first book. Um, I don't remember exactly, but I think I took the 50K, was like 20K down, 20K down, and then I kept the 10K for reserves or capital. Yes, that I was in 2005 and six. Houses were very expensive where I was. Um, yeah. Yep. Daniel and Lumberjack are talking. Yep. He's in New Hampshire. Cam, I'm closing next week. Any tips where to get furnishings? Finally spending dollars after 2 years of savings. Good for you. No, unfortunately. When you say furnishings, it sounds like you might be doing an Airbnb. I'm not sure. Um, I don't do any of that. I don't. None of my units are furnished. Alicia Merriman, who's in the course, I have a course. She's one of the bonus sections. You might be able to tag her in the Facebook group and see what she says. I'm gonna guess it's Craigslist and others, but that's just a guess. I don't know. April, economic ninja. Yeah, economic ninja. Yeah. Landlord, are you in more rural markets? Lumberjack, I'm located in North Central. Oh, West Virginia, so I'm pretty rural. Okay. Are you in Sunnyvale or Mountain View? My husband went to Homestead High in 1990. I grew up in Sunnyvale, live in Mountain View. So, yes and yes. I went to St. Francis. I was recruited there or went there for wrestling. I was a very light and very good wrestler back in the day. So, yeah, I went to St. Francis. I drove by Homestead High. It's on Homestead High. Again, people that know, it's on Fremont Boulevard. I drove down that street every day for 4 years. Yep. You're very. Oh, I must have missed something. Roldan and Tamika are talking. I think I missed that. Anyways, sorry if I missed something. I'm doing helping hands. Do you think my what trusts and LLCs in California? It doesn't make sense to put one LLC, one property, and one LLC because it costs us $800 every year. But yes, multiple LLCs, and yes, I have a trust as you would expect us to. Yes, yes, Happy is awesome. She's so wonderful. Yes, Happy is cute. Yep. Kitty cake. Yeah, it's tough here. Yes, do the work. Yes, thank you. Consignment stores for furnishing. That makes sense. Yep, I like that. Pam 408. I don't know what that is. What was that? I think that's local. I think that's what that was. Let me go back and see. Sometimes I can't keep track of the conversations. Oh yeah, okay, 408. Okay. Oh, 408 area code. Yeah, 408. I still remember my number from back in the day. Yeah, my parents' number. Jeremy, hey Michael, thanks for all the insight you provide. You're very welcome. We try get a little better every day. Any recommendations for dealing with a sloped backyard? No, I've never had to deal with that. Yeah, I can tell you that I fear water more than fire. I mean, I can tell you that much. I've had 2 or 3 fire claims and water claim. I had one water claim. The water claim was, geez, never seemed to stop. So if you're slope and you have water coming at the house, yeah, that's very. I would I would spend money to fix that. If it's sloped the other way, you would just want to make sure there's no deterioration, yeah, in the ground that would risk the foundation. Jairus, cash out refi to add mother-in-law quarter for a house hack. Good idea. I will have both options for short-term and long-term rentals. Dude, it's all about the math, man. I'm adding ADUs right now. It just makes sense. I can't buy anything, so I'm adding ADUs anywhere I can. I can add an ADU for, I don't know, I'm thinking under 100 grand, and I can get 1100 rent. So that's what I'm doing. So again, man, my world is so simple. It's all about the numbers. Yeah, Tamika, I'm sorry. Oh, that's good though. Away from the house. Yeah. Woo, that's good. Yeah, retaining wall probably. Yeah. You just got to protect the since it's away. Like if it's coming at the house, ooh, I would spend money to fix that. Away from the house, you just got to make sure that it's you don't risk the foundation, which probably a retaining wall is a good idea depending on the severity and ground cover and all of those things. Do the number. Yeah, I like that. Do the math. Very, very cool. All right, so here's a question I got that I wanted to read. One sec. I'm trying to do this all with one hand. So I got this question from Wayne. Hi, Michael. So you're taking cash out of some of your real estate. Okay. I don't know how much cash you're wanting to hold. Okay. But do you trust the banks enough just to leave it in an account? Am I watching too many doom and gloom videos to where I am not trusting banks to hold my money? Well, I think most of us are watching too much doom and gloom videos. Um, I have no problem leaving money at banks, although I do believe in the threshold of 250, right? If you happen to be in a situation where you have more than 250K, put it in a different bank, right? Um, that's the FDIC limit. If you had more than that, the bail-ins and all this other nonsense that's out there, it's very easy to open up a bank account. No problem having several. But yeah, I have no problem. All these doom and gloom videos, whether it's market crash or bread lines or all these other things, are the only thing they're doing is they're making the creator money. Every time you click on them, they're making a penny. I've stopped watching. I have no problem. The thing that I would tell Wayne or any of you is I am playing tomorrow's game. I have been doing this long enough where I don't deal with tomorrow. I deal with next year, the year after. So what do I mean? I believe we have record cheap debt today. I believe debt's more expensive in the future. If I believe that, I'm going to lock in rates today, which I am, and I have. I believe there are stupid commercial apartment deals being done today with idiotic assumptions. And I want to have capital ready in 3, 4, 5 years when those things blow up. I have done this before and I will do it again. The problem is if I waited 3, 4, 5 years for these opportunities to come, banks, lenders might be nervous. Did you know that there was a time where if you had an 800 credit score, a 7-figure net worth, and money in the bank and a job, you couldn't get a loan? Yeah, I've been there. So I'm going to do everything I can now to set myself up for 3 or 4 years from now. In worst case, the deals don't show up. In 5 years, I write a check and pay off these mortgages. It's all good. It's fine. So again, yes, I would frankly rather have cash than an asset free and clear today. I think inflation is 8% and I can borrow at 4. If I can borrow at 4 and ultimately earn 10, 12, 15, 20% years from now, of course. What else am I going to do? Wait 3 or 4 years and maybe have a bank tell me no? No thanks. I'm going to get ready for the future. So that's my thought of that. Yeah, and stop watching stuff that scares you. They're only helping themselves. Thanks for what you do. Have an amazing weekend. I appreciate that. So Lumberjack, he's a hands-on guy, that guy. I've done them and have excavated in a retaining wall with steps down, then fence top section. Oh, that's cool. Do you do Section 8? Yes, absolutely. Every property I own is available for Section 8, housing assistance. First come, first approval moves in. I do not. I do not mind. The numbers look great here, but I am wondering if the inspection requirements kill deals. What is your opinion? Again, I have Section 8. Inspections are what they are. You can either love them or hate them. I love them. My goal as a landlord is to provide safe and secure housing. If you're a slumlord, don't bother. Slumlords will get crushed. There's a video, actually, it'll come out today on my channel, but you can look on the Lumberjack yesterday. He talks about his experience buying a 12-unit building from a slumlord. The slumlord had 3 Section 8 tenants, and Section 8 said, Matt, Lumberjack, I'm going to not pay you rent. Lumberjack goes, well, why not? Well, we've had this list of issues for 5 months that the landlord hasn't fixed. We're just not going to pay you because we deem the place not safe. Lumberjack says, can I have the list? Yes. He fixes them. He'll get paid. So yeah, it's wonderful program. I grew up in that environment. I will always provide that type of housing. And I consider the inspections good. Some people are annoyed by them. It's how you look at it. I get annoyed, as I talk about in that video. 90% of the stuff that they find, I would fix anyway. There is 10% that's just annoying, but cost of doing business. So I love Section 8. Cool. All right. I will cover the in-depth tomorrow and show examples. Oh, cool. Awesome. Look at that. Teamwork. Eli, have you seen Panic? The untold story of the 2008 crisis. No, I haven't. I lived through it. I invested and profited through it, saw it up close and personal. But Panic, is that a movie? Eli, is that a movie? Is that a YouTube thing? What is it? I'm going to write it down. I'm going to look it up. Panic. Untold story. Financialization. Yeah. No. No, I haven't seen it, but I'll look it up. Yeah, REI trainer. Yeah, so I wasn't calling you a slumlord. If that's how it came across. I'm saying there are slumlords out there. Yeah, if you do a good job, 90% of the stuff they find you would fix anyway. There will be like one time there was a hairline crack in a tile like in the corner behind the toilet. That annoyed me because that nobody was going to walk, nobody was going to trip, and it was expensive to fix. That one annoyed me. Yes, Section 8 does put stuff on the tenant. I love that. Yes, you are correct, Nathan. Oh, it's a documentary. Oh, okay, I'll look it up. How did the three amigos meet? We all were doing our individual things. We were all being crushed by other nonsense YouTube channels. And we decided to commiserate and talk amongst ourselves. And friendship and a desire to help people grew from there. Yeah. Yeah, there are lots of YouTube channels that are crushing it, making a lot of money, and doing nothing but scaring people. We choose not to do that. Oh, Hank Paulson saved the financial system. Human story. I almost cried. Oh, I have to watch that now. I will look it up. I'm going to assume I can find it on Netflix or somewhere. Oh, okay, cool. All right, you weren't offended. Awesome. Got an approval from PenFed for a HELOC for $55K without an appraisal. That's cool. If I want a higher amount, the lender will do a property drive-by, or I can pay for a full appraisal. Any experience? It really depends on what you need. If the $55K for you, Tamika, is just in case, take it, leave it as is, don't use it. If for some reason you needed 75 instead of 55, go ahead. But I've done this. For me, I would take it. Just say, great. Just put that on the side. Deal of the century comes up, you buy it. If not, you leave it. You leave it there. Also, it's for own protection and for liability. Absolutely. Section 8 inspections. Yeah, I love them. And for me, guys, I pay a property manager. So a Section 8 inspection for me is like a third-party inspection on my property manager. Ha 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 ha. It's like check the checker. Yeah. Yeah, super conservative. Me too. 55K, done deal. Let's go. Yeah, that's what I would do too. All right. What else is going on? Oh, it's here on YouTube. Oh, it's on YouTube. Okay. I will look it up. Is there such a loan as a HELOC on rentals? Yeah, there are. They're a specialty product. You got to go find the institutions. Um, I think somebody in our private Facebook group, Nathan, which I think you're in, um, tagged Matt the mortgage guy, and he made some recommendations. You could search for it or just create a new post in the group and tag him. Yeah, there are such. There are. They do happen. They're not as plentiful. Yeah. All right. Couple more questions. We're almost coming up on the hour. I have no idea how Matt does this for 3 hours. My throat already hurts. Yeah, so that's what I got. All right. What else? All right. All right. Any other questions? I guess a couple more things that I will ask for. Lots of you are daily viewers. I appreciate you. Please know that. Let's take some selfies of our books this weekend. 5-star reviews. And if you're a new member, right, you just got the course or whatnot, make sure you introduce yourself to the private Facebook group, which I will be speaking with in 11 minutes. Have a wonderful day this weekend. Have some fun. Make some memories. Be good people. Take care. Bye-bye.